In this new environment where employment is strong, the Fed seems poised to take action, and oil prices look like they're going to remain low for quite some time. What do you do with a small-cap growth restaurant story like Zoe's Kitchen, the Mediterranean-themed fast casual chain with 162 locations in 17 states, meaning they got tremendous room to expand? Zoe's is the former market darling that roared all the way up to $45 this past July, but then ultimately plunged all the way down to $30 around the middle of last month. Then, roughly 2 weeks ago, the company reported again the stock jumped 4% on the news. Suddenly, it feels like Zoe's may be getting her groove back. Even though the company's same-store sales came in a bit light, Zoe's beat on the top and bottom lines and also raised its full-year guidance, which was enough to give the stock some bounce. So can Zoe's continue to rebound? Let's check in with Kevin Miles, the president and CEO of Zoe's Kitchen, find out more about how his company's doing and where it is headed. Mr. Miles, welcome back to Mad Money.
Oh, thank you for having me back, Jim.
All right, Kevin, I got to ask you, because we've been talking a lot about being public versus being private. Here's a company, you've got a great growth trajectory. You've got a great theme. You've got something that absolutely is loved by a particular demographic, women, moms. And yet you got to deal with the same-store sales thing, and you have a hurricane, it knocks your sales down. You're trying to figure out how quickly to expand. Is it possible that it's just too hard for a young growth company these days to be able to grow and not have to think about the stock market?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're really focused on the day-to-day. We're very honored to be a public company, and we've been very well received. We're focused on the day-to-day. You know, long run, our traffic was really fantastic. We were very proud of our quarter at a 4.5 comp. The nice thing is we didn't take price. We gave that back to our customer and continue to grow, and we're still resonating with the consumer. So we're not so focused on the day-to-day. That's a long-term play for us and our shareholders, and I think everyone believes in us for that as well.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because, you know what, the tenor of the research was, well, you know, they had like a great 6 days and then the next 3 days were bad. And if I were you, I would say enough. It's too hard. What matters to me and what matters to you is the growth path. And it seems like to me that your concept could work in every city in America.
We believe so. We think we're 1,600 plus locations across the U.S. And we're really seeing that today. We're in 17 states, 165 locations. We opened 10 restaurants in our third quarter alone, the most we've ever opened. And again, back to resonating with the consumer, it's how customers are eating today. And it's that Mediterranean lifestyle, better for you product, preservative additive free. And that's what we think consumers are looking for across the country. Now,
this morning we got an employment number that was pretty strong. It's a double-edged sword. I would think the more employed people are, the more people want to eat out, the more they want to go to Zoe's. But you have to hire employees too. You did have a little bit of a little bump in the amount of it costs for workers. What is the trade-off between labor costs and a better economy?
Yeah, I think, for us, we want to create a great environment in our restaurants. So we've always paid above that minimum wage. We continue to do that. We want our team to have great lives and continue to grow there. So we have seen some escalation there. A lot of our labor tick up is really connected to our growth. As we ramp up growth and we build on new restaurants across the country, we're also hiring quite a few new people. And, it's a little bit of our P&L is encumbered by that. And we're okay with that because that gets our team in. They understand the culture. They understand who Zoe's is and what Zoe's is about and how to better serve our customers. So it is ticking up a bit, but we think that's okay. We think we can offset as we continue to grow across the U.S.
At the same time, it sounds like that one of your principal costs, poultry, coming down after being pretty much of a bear for a while.
Right, absolutely. And we really saw that early in the second quarter. It really kind of peaked and then kind of late in the third quarter kind of drove back down. And it's really what elected as we started to see the costs come back down in the back half of the year for us to make that decision not to take price. And so far we've seen that to be declining in the third quarter and continuing on into our fourth quarter of the year.
Are you still at the stage of your development where a new dish helps? I was kind of noticing that, for instance, you issue a hummus trio. I happen to love hummus, so I'm focused on this. And it actually boosts sales.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We still think, as we add menu items around the 21 countries of the Mediterranean, you're going to see some new stuff. Can't wait to show it to you at some point here at the first of the year. So we'll have some new additions in Q1 of the year, kind of overlapping our hummus that we introduced last year. But we think menu introduction and continuing to introduce Americans to that Mediterranean way of eating is important to us. and important to our customer to give them those new flavors and those new items that are out there and inspiring that Mediterranean lifestyle.
What's the best way these days that you find to get the word out? Local radio, billboard, or digital?
Mostly digital. You know, really our best advocates are our customers. That building that emotional connection with the consumer through digital, but really in store, through our caterings and in the communities we serve. Community is a big important piece of what we do, and we believe that each community is very different, and we need to be involved in that, and that's how we're spreading the word.
Some of the best companies I deal with are suddenly having you faced with food safety stories. There's really nothing you can do about this, right? I mean, it's just the fact of life if you're in the restaurant business.
Well, you know, I think, you know, yes and no. There's things we can and can't do, and it's always, you know, it's definitely a precaution. We use, you know, third-party quality assurance companies that inspect each of our restaurants, and our suppliers. You know, our supply chain team and our management team stays really focused on ensuring food safety practices and standards. You know, there's a lot that you can do. And I can probably speak for my brethren across all the food service industry is we're all concerned about food safety. It's important. It should be important to all of us. And I know that's the fact that here at Zoe's. It's definitely, we try to minimize any and all risks that we can.
Last question. When I look at what you're doing, I often think, I hope he isn't so concerned about making some big dollar amount right now because I want a national rollout. What's the tension between showing not EBITDA positive, but actual printed earnings versus this growth path so that someone else doesn't come in with your concept and take it like a Baja Fresh Chipotle?
Right. Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, it's really just staying true to who we are, staying laser focused on the growth, continue to be transparent, not only as we talk about being transparent with our food and our team, it's being transparent with our investors. And those investors that we have been great. They really understand our growth trajectory. And for, you know, our style at Zoe's is we're going to tell you what we're doing. We're investing in our business. We're growing our business for the long run. And we believe we'll come out in 5+ years down the road that everybody's going to be very excited about what Zoe's has done coming from a small company into growing into that larger company and footprint across the U.S. And that's our goal, is to be that 1,600+ location across the U.S. and not have any falters along the way.
Well, we look forward to it. Your closest one for us is Cherry Hill, New Jersey. That's too far. Thank you so much, Kevin Miles, President and CEO of Zoe's Kitchen. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you. Thank you.
You want to take a long-term perspective on a great concept, go there, enjoy it, taste the food, good. And then, if you like it, buy some. Stick with Cramer. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.